never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat, no pneumonia, the rats keep me up on the ocean.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Jets. Two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. A first down throw, Darnold escaping the pressure right. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. A very solid gain of 27. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that. And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night. Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Derek Barnett in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. On the ground, this is Isaiah Crowell. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now it's Darnold, eluding the pressure right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here. Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects? Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi, and he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally,
creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now it's a Ajayi, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Throwing is Wentz. Aguilar has it. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And a gain there of 11 yards. To throw is Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And past the 30 down to about the 27. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
Timmy Jernigan, the Florida State man, in on the stop. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Watch him now, Barney!
To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. This is Crowell on the catch. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It's a gain of 5. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Darnold going for the deep ball. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
82.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. Looking deep downfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Elliott now to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern a little bit. Whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Here's a Giant. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Wentz. Open space, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. And defensively, maybe an opportunity missed there.
No doubt about it. When that ball's out, all you're thinking about as a defender is, this is our chance to make...
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jay Ajayi, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And they go play action here on 1st down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, Darnold. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of 4th down, 1st down.
Well, so much for winning the down you put a lot of emphasis on because 3rd down is key for offense and defense. Instead, you're going to stay on the field and start a new set of downs.
A first carry for Trenton Cannon, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. A shotgun snap for Darnold. Flush to his right. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 6 there on first. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
And he'll get this one down to about the 27. It was Josh Sweat who got him down on the defensive side. The Jets on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. Darnold on third down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will. Ooh. He rifles one that's intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
After the interception, here's Darnold. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. I hate to sound really negative, but at this point, an incomplete pass, almost a moral victory that it's not picked off.
Well, you may hate to sound negative, but that was negative.
It was very negative, I know. But all these first-half interceptions, it's been tough to watch.
Yeah, couldn't find the silver lining.
Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Timmy Jernigan forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. The Jets on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Here's Darnold. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late. And that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged it.
And that's caught inside the 35. And DP goes into Jets territory before being taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Wentz looking very much like his pre-injury self. He's got the Eagles on the move with a 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Marcus May with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Darnold on 1st down. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. To throw is Darnold. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. The offense on 3rd down tonight, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
A final shot before the break. Darnold trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, full half to be played. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They run again with a J. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Darren Lee there to get him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
To throw, it's Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
Straight 15.
Wentz now on first down. He's going to air one out. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Tremaine Johnson. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It's a loss of 2, now third down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Letting one go deep for a noon one. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now fourth down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
This is fielded at the 7. Nice job bringing that. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Eagles offense now, they head back on the field. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Here's Wentz to throw. Ertz over the middle. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And they run with a backup. This is Thomas Rawls. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
The Eagles on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing is Wentz. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Another run, but this time it's Rawls. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
82, 82. Shorty.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it, Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Timmy Jernigan in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. They're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Darnold from the gun. And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it that you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the fourth quarter, got to feel pretty good as a defense.
The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and a mile.
Here's Darnold. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
They'll start out on the ground with a J. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Leonard Williams in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. Now Wentz. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line.
Tell the truth, partner. You didn't think he was coming down with that one, did you? Come on, tell me the truth.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what, though. A one-handed grab of that length. Talk about giving your team a little juice.
Oh, big time. I mean, everyone's going to be excited about that one, whether you're on the field or not. It permeates its way through the entire team, and I can't wait to see what they do on the next down.
And a short gain here, down to the 22. Nathan Shepard in there to make the tackle.
And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the first, second, and third. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. They run with Ajayi. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
New York set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now it's Darnold. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now it's Darnold. Now a desperate. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. He couldn't hook up with a Nunwa that time. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Ford Tokyo! 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah, right, 58, right there.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ford Tokyo!
Wentz to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate. It might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores. So you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back. But
he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. Jordan Hicks in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack.
Well, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The Jets on third down, not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This will be third and forever. Darnold now to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Clock now under 30 ticks and running.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now Darnold, he's going to let it fly. And it's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are likely going to win it. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Wentz with a kneel down, and that will be the final act of this game. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Philadelphia, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins.